gain, undertook sensitive assignments from U.S. intelligence. Sensitive and questionable, And so the facility was headed by the facility unnamed, and then Insol's intelligence sources told me the facility was in a 4-story townhouse near the White House on Jackson Place Northwest, where a covert unit from the Defense Intelligence Agency and the U.S. Army Telecommunications Agency facilitated encrypted communications access to the main core database, it being administered at a computer center in Northern Virginia by the Federal Emergency Management Agency, ostensibly for handoff to the DIA and the U.S. Army in the event of a national catastrophe and the imposition of martial law. But in the meantime, being accessed by select members of the White House National Security Council through help from DIA's covert unit at that townhouse, DIA and the Army Telecommunications, who were providing encrypted communications so that select members of the National Security Council staff could interrogate the main core database system to get dirt on people they wanted to get for political blackmail.
It's interesting. This is right around that same period of time with Craig Spence and Henry Vinson and the D.C. call boy blackmail operation there, all that stuff with Lawrence King, that whole bunch, was doing that homosexual call boy blackmail stuff,
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And it's what the whole Jeffrey Epstein stuff is about too.
Right.
And my view is, and I don't have any firsthand knowledge of what I'm about to tell you, but I do understand a lot about U.S. intelligence, and I would regard it as a given that almost every government does this shit.
Yeah.
And so it would be remarkably naive to assume it's not happening.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, especially when, I had Henry Vinson on the show. He was the guy who ran the funeral parlor credit card machine that this call boy operation was running through. And he tells me he went to this apartment with Lawrence King and Craig Spence. Craig Spence comes in with Secret Service bodyguards, and they open up this closet door, and there's all this recording equipment all over the blackmail, all over the place, man. So there's all high level stuff, man.
Yeah. Gosh.
Now, in our second hour, which is coming up, we're going to do a part 2 with Mr. Walt. You're listening to William Hamilton, who is the man behind the Inslaw.com software, the PROMIS software, the man inside with the Danny Casolaro, Michael Riconosciuto. You hear these names, Octopus. You hear this stuff all the time. This is the guy. He's never done an interview before. That's how important this is. Now, we have about 2 minutes left before, and then we're going to reboot and get back together again. But what do you want to leave us with in this hour? And just think, when we come back, we're going to talk about Danny Casolaro, all the suspicious deaths around this whole thing. What would you like to leave us with in this hour, though?
Well, I have never believed Danny Casolaro committed suicide, and thought that it made no sense. And I had sources, Ed.
Yeah.
Who one day a retired Army Criminal Investigations Division guy approached me when I was about to testify on the Hill and said he wanted to provide some help. And he turned out to be a gutsy character. And he provided information to me from sources in the U.S. Special Forces intelligence. And they do a lot of the dirty work, evidently, for the CIA on this stuff. And including when you need more blackmail stuff and you have to do some physical surveillance, they do it. And